love those cryptic openings that don't explain a damn thing about the show. Well, welcome back to the Director's Garage, everybody. That's what we do around here. I'm feeling the summer heat today. I'm your host and resident idiot, Michael, and today's episode, we're going full blowtorch, man. We're going to have some fun today in true OG Director's Garage fashion. There's going to be some zeros attached to this episode. We're stepping back into that deep end of the pool for an episode that's going to be loaded with surprises, I promise. Speaking of which, aren't you surprised I'm wearing this snazzy headphone t-shirt? Of course it's another lame-ass transition. What do you expect? It's this show, guys. Okay, shirts like the one I'm wearing right now can be yours. It's a part of the Director's Garage merch line. Yeah, this tasteful headphone logo is scribbled onto hats and tees and polos and shirts and jackets and mugs, along with the phrase, "Music is life, folks." And this is embroidered, because music is the reason we're here to begin with. Check out the entire line at directorsgarage.com. These shirts can breathe, they're comfortable, you can wear them out to dinner, you can wear them on a golf course, you can wear them to work. They are completely understated, which is the complete opposite of me. Well, I think the question today needs to be what's in the case, because that's what I've got for you guys today. It's a briefcase full of tunes. I feel like a blues brother, except I need the handcuff. Well, anyway, guys, full confession, I know what's in this case, so it's not exactly a surprise to me, but I will say this, I've never heard what's inside this case. So without further ado, or without any ados at all, let's crack this case open and check it out. I'm anxious to see these in person. Are you ready? Are you ready? One! Oh my God, check this out. What we got here, folks, we got ourselves a Raal 1995 Magna. Look at this thing. Look how gorgeous this is. Holy God, we are in it to win it. The first thing I notice when I look at these is the materials. These are very beautifully crafted and matched with, I mean, even down to the screws. The screws are specifically gold against this gunmetal headband. A headband which, by the way, has a damper built in, as if they engineered it that way, unlike a certain Stax model, whatever. But take a look at these. Now, these are walnut. I like the color of these things. I think these suede pads are great. The top band, this is suede backed with a nice leather. All of the appointments on this headphone are gorgeous and intentional. Now, kind of cool, you can look inside these things. You can see these are the two ribbons right here in between some magnetic posts. This is what gives you all of the sound in these things. It's a kind of a squiggly piece of ribbon that vibrates when you put electricity through it. Well, the good news about this is that there's very little restriction on the amplitude that ribbon can vibrate, which means you get some amazing frequency response out of these things. Normal planar magnetic and ESTAT headphones have a lot of tension on the diaphragm or the membrane that the electric forces have to overcome to produce sound. So they take typically a lot of power to move. The ribbon will flow free when it's energized. There's not a lot of tension on the thing, and it can react quickly and responsively to an input signal, like say a bass note. Except, so these ribbon drivers are in line, which makes them basically fuses. So if you had put full power into this headphone, you would burn these up in just a puff of smoke. It would melt them. So what you get is this base of a headphone stand. Now, this is no ordinary headphone stand. Yes, it comes with a nice little support that you screw in like this, but it also contains the electronics of a transformer to step down the power so you don't turn your expensive headphone into crispy critters. But let's see what else is in this box while we're here. First up, we've got cables galore, right? I've got a 4-pin to 4-pin. This is to go from an amp out into this transformer here. I've got a TRS 1/4 inch into 4-pin. This is going to go great for my tube amp. And then you get a 4-pin cable that goes from the transformer to the headphone itself. These are TRRS 3.5 inch. Then I've got these banana plugs. Now that's going to be interesting. interesting, and it's part of the reason the background of the Director's Garage is arranged particularly different. Have you noticed it? Before we get into some listening sessions of this here Magna, I do want to share the story of how I got them, because y'all know I'm broke.
It's story time at the Director's Garage.
So you may remember about 6 months ago, I had Dani McKinney from Raal on my monthly Patreon show, The Hangover Hangout. Well, I shared that video on my regular channel so you all could see it for yourself for free and perhaps coerce you to join one of our future conversations, since everyone participates and it's only $3. Anyway, because it's so bad, man. Near the end of that interview, Dani told me to reach out to him in a few months. Maybe he could get me one of these here headphones from Raal. And having just completed the E-Stat shootout with all its electricity and stuff, I thought, well, now might be the right time, because I'm leaving SoCal after we sell this house, and that's going to take me away from his area. So I hit him up, and after a few emails, we had a phone conversation that ran 40 minutes, and we agreed to meet for lunch, which was a shit ton of fun. I heard stories about everyone from Cooder to Mutt Lang. I mean, Dani has some fantastic stories to tell. And oh yeah, full disclosure, he picked up the lunch tab too. What a guy. Well, I left with this here Magna to review. Well, I'm not sure I should tell you this. Yeah, guys, he didn't just send me home with the Magna. There is another case. Yeah, we're going to do what's in this box right here. I'm going to show it to you, and are you ready? Are you ready? And oh my God, what we got here, folks, is the Raal 1995 Emanus. Yeah, folks, this is the big brother to the Magna, and I am thrilled to get to show this to you right now. This is the 3-ribbon version, and if you look inside, you can see indeed there are 3 ribbons here, and compare this to the Magna, which has 2, 3, 2. So yeah, you get a third more driver, which I would think causes about a third more problems to solve in the engineering department, because you got more waves crashing against each other. But either way, I want to talk about the differences that I noticed comparing these two right off the bat. The cups themselves are physically larger on the Emanus. Can you see that? There's definitely probably about 20% more cup here, and who doesn't like more cup? But I suppose they got to have more real estate if they're going to fit extra drivers inside. The materials feel very similar to the Magna. I see, like, even the connectors down here, these are all the same on both headphones. They didn't change that out. It's just a matter of size to accommodate the additional ribbon. I will say this, the Emanus is a heavier headphone than the Magna. Now, while I haven't heard this Magna before, I have heard the Emanus before. Jonathan Liu let me hear his, and then at CanJam SoCal, I got into a room where I got to hear them with a Viva tube amp, and it wasn't a controlled environment like this, so I'm very fortunate that I'm going to get to hear them in a controlled setting, but I will say that I liked these. I didn't love them. My notes were that they were a bit light on bass and they lacked some impact. But we do have some major hardware here to throw at these headphones. You will notice that this background has shifted a bit to make room for more horsepower. Plus, we have, of course, the Ray Samuels B21 Raider and the Woo Audio WA5LE with its 300B tubes to hopefully bring all of these things to life. So I think it's time we gotta take a first listen to these things, and let's go into a Director's Garage sound impression and see how they do. So here's what we're going to do. This episode is going to have my first impressions of the Emanus and the Magna, and then in an upcoming episode, after I have some time with them, I'll do a deeper dive into all of the properties of both of these headphones and share my thoughts on what is now around $16,000 worth of the best ribbon headphones money can buy. We don't do small things around here. Like and subscribe. So first up, we're going to be going to the album American Beauty. It's kind of a tradition around here, and the track we're going to be listening to is Box of Rain. Here we go. Magna's up first. Oh, these are nice. They take a lot of power. I'm at half power on the volume. I'm surprised that, and I'm to a nominal listening power. These will take some juice, apparently. Wow. First thing I'm noticing is there's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of detail and a lot of clarity. The background, it sounds dead quiet on this, and everything seems very well sorted in a stage. These don't sound as fully formed as the Imanis that I remember. It's kind of interesting. They sound, maybe I would even say, a little simpler in a complimentary way. They don't sound like they're throwing quite as much at me. But the image is still there. It loses a little bit of the three-dimensionality, I think, of the other one. Well, let's pause here for a second, because I'll switch over and we'll go to the Imanis now. So yeah, I changed the wires on them, and the first thing I noticed is, obviously they're bigger, they're heavier, there's more weight to these, but let's continue on with this song. Actually, I'm going to start it again. Interesting, the concussive factor of the bass wasn't as strong at the top of the song as it was on the Magna. But it's a grander presentation. I mean, it's really full. There's more stage to this. There's more depth to this. Both are exceptionally clear. And I'm getting good bass out of this. Better bass than I remember. But I did have a discussion with Dani, and power seems to have a direct correlation to bass. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the gain up on the B21 Raider. And oh, that makes a difference. Oh, that's a huge difference. The bass just came alive. The whole headphone just came alive. I mean, there's a significant change in the headphone for sure. Let's pause now. Okay, this high gain experiment is very interesting to me. And we're going to go back to the Magna now and see how the Magna takes the high gain. Because the Magna had a lot of bass, more bass presence to my ears right out of the gate without the higher gain. And now that this gain situation has presented itself, I'm going to start back again to the top of this thing. Oh, these are alive too. These are wonderful. They do lack there's a grandiosity. Wow. Whoa. The harmony came in at the end of the verse, and it was just really intense. Wow, this is amazing stuff, folks. Woo! Let's change tracks. I want to hear Friend of the Devil, and Sugar Magnolia even, for that matter. Oh, the purity of the acoustic guitars at the top of Friend of the Devil. Woo! Bass just came in. That was spectacular. I want to hear this now on the Imanis and compare. Extreme detail off the top. Very impressive. And now we're going to check it out on the Big Daddy with the 3 ribbons. I want to hear the top of this song. I could do this all night long. All right. Instantly wider. The stage just gets bigger. Oh, that bass. Oh, the bass gets more physical. It's got more drive. It affects your soul more. It's amazing. The difference from the gain difference is huge. More power, more power, more power. All right, I'm going to pause here on this one because now we're going to change amps. And I'm going to go to the WA5LE tube amp, and I'm going to put that in high gain mode, and we're going to see what happens under a tube. And I'm interesting, on high power, I barely crack the volume knob on the WA5, and there's a lot of volume coming out of this headphone. There's a little more grit to this sound. It's not as dead clean, dead quiet. There's a little more grit. It's perfectly enjoyable. Let's see what happens when some drums come in. Yeah, you get a little more air, a little more space. You get a touch more noise, I think. Like, I just think there's a grittiness. It's not as smooth as the B21. But this is maybe the first headphone that's made me... I feel like I'm really hearing the 300B and its effect on the music. I'm gonna pause. We're gonna pick up with Sugar Magnolia. But I do want to hear the Magna on the tube and see what the difference is there. The Magna on the tube. I would also note that there's no difference in efficiency on either headphone. Neither is harder to drive or easier to drive than the other. Yet these ribbons really like power. The more it seems like the more I throw at it, the better it is. What I'm hearing is a force behind the bass, and it's almost concussive. It's really impressive. This reminds me a lot of the Susvara after I found an amp that worked really well with the Susvara. All right, I gotta pause here. We gotta do... Yeah, I want to do some jazz. I want to hear this Magna do some jazz. So I'm going to go to some Cannonball Adderley. I want to hear this something else. We're going to hear Autumn Leaves. Listening through the tubes now on high gain. It's one of my all-time favorite jazz tracks. It's a great conversation between a saxophone and a trumpet. Miles playing on this. Hank Jones. Now here's one of the things that I think is setting this ribbon apart from other headphones. There's tremendous extension of the bass down into the sub, but there's also texture with that bass. And I'm not sure I've heard other drivers deliver that. Certainly not electrostatic headphones. ESETs just struggle so much with the lower frequencies. And the more power I'm throwing at this, the crazier it's getting, the better it's getting. I'm going to flip now. I want to hear what the difference is going to the Imanis. Let's just pick it up. There's more space here. There's just more space. That's the big ticket item. There's just more space on the Imanis over the Magna. I like the space. I'll confess that right away. This gives you that same sound, but this gives you more of a dimension. The instruments sound more three-dimensional. This is doing a great job of the image. But I just get more of a spatial sense with the third ribbon. All right, I'm going to pause this right here because I want to do something radical. And I'm going to try this only because Dani told me to go ahead and do it. And he said, you have. In fact, he challenged me. He said, you have to do this. So what's sitting over here is my Krell KSE-100, which is a speaker amp, a very, very powerful speaker amp. Dani gave me banana plugs, and he said, go ahead, wire it up, and try your Krell through the ribbon headphones. So we're going to do that right now. And not only am I going to change the input of the headphone, we're going to change the music mode we're going into. In honor of Dani's friendship with Mutt Lange, we're going to go to Back in Black by AC/DC. I don't want to think about what my electric meter is doing right now. But there is bass coming out of this headphone. And it's clean. This is clean amplification. This headphone is like Rocky. Yo, Adrian. What, is that all you got? Come on, hit me. Give me more power. This is bananas. There is a shit ton of bass coming out of these things. It's almost too much. Power is at 30% out of the pre. I'm running this flat, 6 volts out of the DAC into the out of the Lena into the Macintosh. Macintosh is the pre. It's got a tube pre in it. I mean, there's a ridiculousness to this. Major slam. I mean, this is pushing as much bass as I've ever heard out of anything. Safara, it's damn near the abyss. I'd have to do a side-by-side, but the bass gets physical when you start throwing juice at it. This is really astounding. There is an almost too much bass aspect to this. I'm doing this for the awe of it. There is a shock and awe factor. I'm gonna go to Hell's Bells, but there's a shock and awe to this that's undeniable. But it is almost too much. It's fun to do, but I think I'm in a better sonic situation off the Ray Samuels. Or the tube. It is clean though, like I'm getting all the detail. I think there's a little more space on the Ray Samuels, things open up a bit. Man, when that bass drum hits though, God, the whole thing shakes. Doesn't make any difference if you break the seal. Just curious. There's so much drive here. It is like a speaker experience. It's like you're listening on loudspeakers. The difference is the fidelity. It's holding fidelity. It's pushing a lot of bass, but it's holding fidelity. In some respects, it's like I gave him this nice pair of headphones and he listened to AC/DC. There is like that silliness to it. I mean, this is impressive as hell. There's a massive stage. There's a full, huge sound, tons of detail. It's quiet. I'm amazed at how quiet and dark it gets when the music breaks down and separates. I mean, you would think it would be kind of a noisy experience. It's not at all. Okay, I'm gonna switch this back to the B21 for this last audition. And I'm gonna go to to some Muddy Waters. I want to hear something. I want to hear folk singer, and let's listen to some of this stuff. And now I'm back on the Ray Samuels. I mean, this is a track that's got a lot of reverb, and it's just acoustic guitar. You got a snare, keeping time. String bass over here. You can walk. It's like you can walk around these instruments in your head. I want to do one pause because I want to hear this track on the Magna, because I think that this is maybe a song that the Magna would best present. It's more intimate. Which, on this particular song, on this particular album, we're talking about Muddy Waters here. This is Muddy in his studio in 1963, 64. Same year the Beatles came. I love the sound of this. Love the sound of this. All right. Well, I'm becoming a huge Ribbon fan now, suddenly. And part of it was probably just environment, because I thought these were nice sounding headphones. I just thought that they were good. I didn't think they were great. And my opinion has been changed today, having listened to it through all this gear in a ridiculous setup. But it just seems like the more you give these headphones, the more they give back to you. And I'm on high gain, and I'm over halfway on the B21. So you can make these things eat. Guys, I could do this all night. I gotta call it. I gotta pause it, man, because we gotta get to the end of this episode. Because I'm gonna be doing some listening all night long. I can guarantee you that. This could be an hour-long episode easily, and I've spent probably that much. We're gonna be pulling some time out of this, but wow, what a first impression. You know, I think both of these headphones are spectacular in different ways. The Imanis gives you stage and imaging and size. These give you an intimacy, but they both present extreme detail and extreme responsiveness to the input, whatever's feeding it. The bass response. These, I mean, I would call these power-hungry headphones, and I didn't expect them to be that, given that they have this transformer that steps things down. The more power I fed them up to a speaker amp, the better they performed. And I can't wait to do more listening with these. I'm going to be doing late nights at the Director's Garage, listening to both of these headphones on some pretty spectacular gear back here, and put them through its paces, and I'll be back with a full review. But my initial impression is, boy, did I have it wrong from what I heard at Can Jam. At Can Jam, I thought, it's kind of a unique sound, but I think I'd get tired of it. Or it didn't have a lot of bass emphasis, and there wasn't a lot of physicality to the bass. Well, what I've discovered is as you feed it more power, the more physical that bass becomes, and I'm really impressed by that. So we've got some great listening ahead of us, and my opinion of the ribbon-drivered Imanis and now the Magna, which I'm hearing today for the first time, is much better than I expected in the most pleasant way.
Time to wrap it up.
All right, I have to thank Dani McKinney for his generosity in getting these two incredible Raal 1995 headphones to me to review. I do have to give them back, and that's going to be the unfortunate thing here. I don't get to keep these as much as I would love to at this point, but I will do a full review of these, and I'm going to get to do a lot of listening to these things combined. I'll probably combine the review and do both of them. At the same time, I think the Magna and the Amanus have enough similar qualities. I won't do a separate review of each, but I do get to listen to these and put them through their paces for a few more days, and for that I'm going to be very grateful. I also want to give a shout out to my Patreon crew. You're seeing their names on the screen right now. It's these supporters of the channel who help make all of this keep going and possible. Head over there to engage and interact. Or not. Don't.
Coming soon.
Now, next up on the Director's Garage, we're going to have an exclusive look at what's in this box right here. It's heavy. These are heavy headphones, and they're just starting to trickle their way onto the market. And y'all know I love a good trickle, don't you?
Hey!
Well, many people haven't even seen these yet, so it's going to be worth the wait to check out. And also know there's more content coming ahead with these two Raal 1995 headphones, so make sure you...
Oh, like, and subscribe to the Direct Garage now. It don't cost nothing at all.
Give this episode a thumbs up if you enjoyed this first look at the Raal 1995 Magna and 1995 Amanus. Who has both of these at once on a single show? Pretty amazing. Which would you choose? Put a comment down below. Or you can do the other thing, because listening to me is kind of like listening to rats fight over a piece of pizza.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We're about to die! We're gonna die!
Whatever. I'll see you guys before you know it.
Let's all get drunk!